All right. Obviously, tough road win. I thought our guys responded well in overtime. I was worried with the foul trouble and the way it got to overtime. But Arkansas did a great job. They did the same thing they did in the Florida game. They got down and they turned up the heat and came back and we lost our composure a little bit, but we were able to regain it in overtime. So I was really proud of our guys. This is a very, very tough place to play, and good win for us. Bringing 6 new guys on the road for their first SEC game. So really proud of our guys. I thought Nas played great. I thought Tremont did a good job distributing the ball. I thought Marlon Taylor was huge for us, and we just fortunately made a few more plays. Gafford was a man down there and did a tremendous job. And we didn't have many answers for him, but we got a stop on him late, and that ultimately was the difference in the game.
I guess for both players, what was the key? Because Arkansas made a big run back. They seemed to have the momentum in overtime. They took the lead, then you guys got it back. But what was the key to taking over in overtime?
Coach in practice telling us to stay together. Without that, I don't know if we have – I have confidence in us, but I don't know if we could have done that as well as we did.
I would say just coming together. Obviously, the crowd got really into the game. So, and guys on our team were against the refs at some points and just crying about fouls and stuff like that. But as a team, as a whole, the 5 that were on the court, we pretty much just came back together and just stayed glued, and that was the key to us winning.
As you had that dunk, and then a second later, the guy ref teed you up. Did you say something, or what happened on that technical?
The ball came to me, and as I was running, I just kind of swiped it out my way. I wasn't really intentionally throwing it, but stuff like that happens. You just gotta keep playing.
Kind of surprised them with the 3-pointers that maybe you seemed like you were wide open on some of those.
If that was the game plan, I guess they read me wrong. But I mainly just keep working in the gym. That's what made me convert those. So.
Will, it was a pretty big difference in 3-pointers today. You guys and their guys. What was your take on the impact of the 3 today?
We came in. Obviously Joe and Jones are just lethal 3-point shooters, but we let Jones just drive it all over us today, and we fouled him. I don't know how many times we went to the foul line, at least a dozen. And so we wanted to run those guys off the 3, and we ultimately tested our theory. We didn't think they could win. We could lose 2 by 2, and I didn't intend on giving Gafford quite as many easy looks as we gave him, but we felt like if we could get it into, keep Arkansas off the 3-point line, we'd have a good chance, and that's what ultimately happened.
Coach Wade, did you feel that you had to win this game 4 or 5 times, and were some of the perimeter passes maybe more casual than you would have liked when you had leads?
Yeah, I wish, like I said, turned up the heat, which is what they do and what they're great at, and we didn't meet the ball. We were a little bit laissez-faire with some of the passes, but you never feel comfortable when you're on the road, when you're playing a team as good as Arkansas, a team that presses and runs like Arkansas does. You never feel comfortable. So I'm not necessarily sure we had to win it multiple times, but certainly I felt like we probably deserved to win or earned the right to win in regulation, and then when that doesn't happen, you feel like you got to turn around and do it again in overtime, which our guys did.
Will, sorry if you answered this question already, but you always talk about a 6-minute game. Tonight it turned into 11-minute. Can you just tell me about the way they hung in there?
We were better in the overtime than we were in the 6-minute game in regulation, but we were much better in overtime. I thought Javante's 3 was a huge shot for us in overtime, got us going, I thought we just executed a little bit better in the overtime than we did at the end of the game.
Naz, when you're going to play a game against somebody like Daniel Gafford, does that get you a little bit more hyped for the game, or is it even a thought?
Way more hype, He's a lottery pick, I would say, and just us going at it is a great matchup. So, I wouldn't say I wouldn't be.
Well, I guess you guys have lost 9 in a row on the road since you won here. Now you're 2-0 here in Walton Arena. A lot of coaches can't say they've won 2 and not lost any here. How do you feel about that? And you're 3-0 against Arkansas too, and Tremont, you're 3-0 against Arkansas and won twice. Or how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think it's more coincidence than anything. This is obviously one of the 2 or 3 toughest places to play in our league. I think they've got the 3rd best home record for a while. They'd won 9 straight Saturday home games here. I knew that, Arkansas, and they hadn't lost back-to-back games in like 8 years at home. So there was a lot of, this is just a tough place to play. And when you have a point guard like Tremont, that helps. And, having him to combat some of the pressure and make those reads, because you can't really run against Arkansas, which you would typically run, because you're kind of, they take you out of what you want to do. So you got to have somebody that you trust and somebody that you feel comfortable with to make the right reads. And Tremont did that. Skylar did that at times. Javante did that at times. And I think that helps us.
I would just say obviously it's another game, but just moving forward, we got to just keep that same energy, that same attitude every time we step on the floor. And as far as Arkansas, they're a great team, and it's just, like Coach said, it's pretty much a coincidence. And that's really it.
How did y'all keep it together with only 5 players left, basically?
Coach Wade always pushes through situations during practice, at the end of practice, while we're dog tired after he runs us all practice pretty much. So just already being in that environment, like Coach played, I don't know what sound it was during practice this past week, but it was like hog sound and like their chant with their band and stuff like that. So, and he puts it on full blast, so you can't like hide from it, like you can't block it out. So just being like in that environment already, just knowing that we trust each other and just coming together as brothers, and knowing that our family will be there. The guys on the bench, a few fans that were there, everyone was locked in tonight, so I felt pretty good.
Coach Wade, you kind of talked about Daniel Gafford a little bit. What did he do today in your eyes? I know he got really good position a lot, but did you really just want to play behind him? Was that the goal?
Not really. But that's kind of what ended up happening. We just, you give him angles like we gave him. We tried to do the same thing we did last year, which was kind of help off the 4 men. Now the 4 men hit a couple shots. Chaney hit a shot early. A couple of those guys hit some shots early, so we couldn't quite help as much off those guys. And Coach Anderson adjusted and put a little bit better shooting in there, and had him curling some screens and some different things that gave us some problems. So, we gave him. I mean, he's a great player. You give him angles, and I knew they were going to go to Gafford. I think Coach Anderson, I watched his press conference. He talked about we got to play inside out. We got to get the ball inside. We got to get the ball inside. I thought they got the ball inside, and I thought their bench played well. I know those were 2 areas coming out of Florida that Arkansas was trying to get going, and we just didn't do a good job stopping him. But like I said, we really wanted to concentrate on Joe and Jones. We didn't want to give those guys threes, because I think next to turnovers, I think the crowd here feeds off the threes. When they get barraging you from 3, I think the crowd gets into it, and I thought we could keep the crowd out of it if we didn't turn it over and have a bunch of live ball turnovers and didn't get barraged by 3.
Nas, you've had some slow starts early in the season. What got into you today? Did you feel like you were going to have it today?
Just a bounce back game from Alabama's game, and wanting to win. Something that I hate. I'm like a sore loser, so I don't want to lose anything. So I'm going to put my all on the floor and just mainly wanting to win.